Hi, Kev here, Tabletop upgrades and 2 second lean improvements for this week. A couple of equipment changes. So the first one, I had a squeegee located just above this cutting mat and it was forever falling off. I'd used the wrong type of magnet. So I've now swapped that for a vernier caliper, made some little 3D printed hooks for it so that that's in exactly the right place for me to check the thickness of the material before it flows through on the Kanban card to the laser cutter. So the squeegee needed somewhere to go, and instead of it usually being on the floor actually, but instead of it being hung up there, I've made a place for it exactly where it needs to be. It's used exclusively with that glue. So there it sits on this little hook. So that's nice and easy and exactly in the right place when I need it. So changes to some packaging next. This is an improvement to my packaging. It takes 30 seconds for me to stick this label on the back and make 2 cuts. I then have to deal with the waste. So the solution was to make the packaging the same size as the label, and then that way it goes on directly, no cuts, and it also saves a bit of time on the laser cutter. 30 seconds down to 14. And this is a comparison between the new one on the left and the old one on the right. That laser etching alone is a change I made next week. Eliminating that saves 6 working days a year, so big improvements all round. The packaging for the Ultimate Tabletop measuring set is a 3-piece cardboard. I put an S on here so that I know which side to spray mount, and that was an improvement for a couple of weeks ago. But I still found when I take them off the laser, there's some confusion as to which way I need to put the bottom sheet. So I just changed it up, put an S and a plus, so now I spray on the S side, tilt it over, it's in exactly the right orientation, and that's saving minutes a day. So this is following the advice of David and John in the Lean chat. Thanks for all your help. I've come up with a naming convention now, and this may look long-winded, but it's very quick and works really well for me. So I just simply hit TTF, and I've got a keybind set up that puts this template in, and then I replace each of these dashes with a standard form. So I've got the product name, the process, which machine it's for, the datum type, which tells me which mode to put the laser in, a component type, the name of whether it's a dial top or it's a packaging part, the dimension of the sheet, and a revision number. And these down here at the bottom are some examples of my files, which I can easily, at a glance, see exactly what's what. And John came up with a good point. It's all very well having revision 0 or revision 3. How do you know which is which? So I've got a change log, which I will show you next. So a couple of weeks ago, I've got really frustrated with the fact I couldn't find any digital files. So I've gone about sorting that out. So I basically red tagged everything. So anything from my Google Drive or the downloads folder or the various documents, I just copied and dumped in this folder. There's 10,819 files in there, of which I'm sure 9,819 more are absolute garbage. So I'm in the process of sorting that out, but I've set some basic folders up. I've got all my continuous improvement stuff, so if I make a project such as that squeegee hanger, the CAD files for it go in here. I've got laser settings, which are firmware updates, and then my products. So I've got a standard folder structure now, which I can just copy and stick wherever I need it for a new, so I'm not creating that again and again. And in it is design files, experiments, jigs and fixtures, laser toolpaths, and marketing files. So I'll show you an example of that. So if I go into the miniature war games area and then the war dials, which is a popular product I've got, in here I've got design files split into the CAD, the SolidWorks CAD, and the graphics files. So I've gone through a few different iterations of the graphics. I'm now on revision 1. Now, John made the point that it'd be really easy in a few weeks to forget what revision 1 is, especially when there's no title block and you're not actually noting the revision changes. So in each one of these files, I've got a graphics, well, a change log. This is the graphics change log for this product, and I can see that R0 is the origination file, and I changed some registration marks from 0.25 to 0.35. So that's all contained. I've got real control over my files. And that's just leading to improvements. And as I'm going through these files, I'm spotting further opportunities to improve. So it's very, very satisfying. Still, though, 10,000 files to go. The final improvement for this week, and a good one to end on, is how I'm tracking these improvements. There was a conversation in the Lean chat with Peter about how to make notes of multi-day projects. Now, I know this is Toy Town compared to some of the guys out there. There's just me in this company, but I still find it difficult to remember exactly what I come up with. So I do 30 minutes 3S'ing in the morning, and I had a little book which I note down any upcoming projects. Now, I managed to lose this book, not very lean. It took me 7 minutes to find it because there wasn't a standard location for it. And I thought, well, better than that, I'll make a little Google sheet, then I can access from my phone. If I have a good idea anywhere, I can just note it in the sheet. And this is what I've come up with, and it's about as simple as you can get. So I've got some, these are the projects when I came up with the idea. The size is just gives me an idea of how to prioritize it when I can fit it in. So if it's immediate, I do it immediately, but I'm trying to log what I've done so I can keep an eye on how far I've come. And it goes all the way from quick down to a multi-day project. When it's completed, I can tag it as yes, no. So this morning, which is the 16th of February, I came up with an idea of putting some foam inserts in the process trays. That's going to take a little bit of time to do, so 1 to 4 hours. It's not completed, so that goes in the list. And what I can do here is sort it, so easily at a glance I can see what's in progress, what I'm yet to do, and what I have done. And should I change something, if I complete something and hit it as yes, there's a little data validation rule which crosses it out. So that's a way that I'm keeping on top of my improvements, and I'm sure there'll be lots more of those for next week. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.